How do you go about instructing coaches to try to find that thing that they can turn into a business?
It's a two-way street. People are going to do business with you when they think, oh, he's an expert when it comes to X. But if you choose to constantly be talking about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through that, you might be very knowledgeable and those mental models or skills might be applicable to A through Z. It's just one of those things that people naturally gravitate towards specialists that are experts in solving the problem that they're experiencing. You just have to put yourself in the shoes of the consumer or think about your own buying decisions. For example, I had knee surgery last January. I'm not going to go to the hip guy, even though he might have done a few knees. I'm not going to go to the neck. I'm going to be like, give me the knee guy. You have to have the discipline to pick. You might think if I do 2 populations, I'm going to cover my bases. I'm going to make twice as much money because I'm opening myself up to twice the number of people. And I think in reality, you're actually going to make half as much. Just because I think generalists tend to get the dregs that are left over. When it comes to actually making money, you do want to have good positioning. You want to be perceived as an expert, because the whole reason that people pay money when it comes to sports performance, strength and conditioning, exercise, anything like that, the truth is that if you chip away for long enough, the knowledge is out there, the skills are out there, you can just go and do it yourself. The reason people pay money for this is because they want to do it a whole lot sooner. They don't want to invest the time and effort that it takes to acquire that skill set or that experience. So they are effectively using you as a fast lane to getting those results. And in order for you to do so, you have to be perceived to be an expert. And then I think once you've established like a good track record of actually solving that problem, you've demonstrated to people that you are an expert in terms of what you talk about and how you talk about it online, and effectively like building this body of work that increases people's perception of your ability. Then I think that's when the technical aspects of owning a business come in. You do have to be methodical about how you progress people from strangers to customers, because trying to make that in one massive leap is the approaching a girl in a bar and saying your place or mine. The ones that say yes are not the ones you want to go home with, and 99% of other women will just say no. Whereas again, if you have the discipline and you have that like long-term mindset, it's much easier to take that massive leap in trust, break it down into just incremental chunks where you're just building that relationship over time. So what you just talked about, giving away the free stuff without ulterior motive, that is a much better introduction than you sliding into someone's DMs and being like, hey, do you want to sign up for $500 a month? Because if you over ask relative to the trust, the positioning, the authority that you have for that person, the easiest word to say is no, and they'll just shut you down. Whereas you want to make the ask that you're making the easiest thing to say yes to, then take the long view and gradually build it up over time. And I think that's exactly what you've done in your social media. It continues to go up.
Yeah, I'll be the first to give away my secret. We've shifted. My membership now is an open and closed enrollment. The 5 or 6 weeks in between enrollments, the process is top of the funnel, free content to build up as many followers as possible. Can you convert those followers to your mailing list? And then can you convert your mailing list to sell to? I have almost 73,000 Twitter followers. And if I just relied on posting links to my membership on Twitter to get people to sign up for it, like I would probably get a quarter or a third of the people.
There's a couple of reasons for that. One is anytime the product is free, you are the product. So if you're on social media platforms and they're free to use, you are the product basically being served up to advertisers. So those platforms exist to sell ads to people looking to acquire customers. So anytime you try and engage in this commercial activity on those platforms without paying for the privilege, they're going to choke your output. If you want to test this, just go on your own personal social media, put the word buy or sell or put a price and watch the reach go down to this. Another reason is that in order to sell those ads, those platforms need time on app. That's like the one metric that these apps live and die by, which is how much time do you spend on the app. So they're actually incentivized to keep you on the app, keep you scrolling, keep you distracted. That's not actually the set of circumstances that are most going to predispose people to buying from you, because they're distracted, they're constantly swiping, you maybe have a couple of seconds of attention. Getting people onto your mailing list and off social media, that's sailing with the wind, because when you land in somebody's inbox, they're predisposed to give you attention because they already gave you their email address, that's a thing of there's much less in their inbox. People do have junk mail, but let's say a busy day is 25 pieces of email, 50 pieces of email. You're going to go through the first 50 tweets in 2 minutes on Twitter. It's much easier to grab attention and command attention. And also, if you accept the fact that social media platforms are going to basically charge you ads to reach people, and you also accept the fact that it's going to take a lot of communication for you to be positioned enough for them to buy from you, if you do try and go through the route of ads on social media, you're going to pay every single time you want to contact that person. If it takes 20 tweets or 20 videos, you're going to pay 20 times the ads. If you go with the email marketing first approach, you pay once to get the email, and then every email after that, I worked out, is like 1/10 of a cent. So it brings your acquisition costs so far down that it's a lot more scalable and repeatable then.